Hi, welcome back to One Dish, Two Ways. Thank you guys so much for all the comments we've been getting. We've gained a few subscribers and we truly, truly appreciate that. So this week we are going to do quesadillas. Woohoo! I'm excited because we're getting ready to take another camping trip. So this is a way for us to use up some of our ingredients. Quesadillas is another great way to do that. So let's start with what we're going to use for our quesadillas, our tortillas. We're going to be using these Ezekial wraps. These are flourless wraps, and I normally keep them in the freezer until we're going to use them. So I pulled these out last night and put them in the fridge to defrost, just because they're not made with any preservatives, they will go bad, and they're hard to find. So when I do find them at a store, I buy 2 or 3 packs and then I put them in the freezer. And so we are both using that. And our other combined ingredient, actually there's 2 more. We've got some peppers and onions that all I did was cook them up earlier today. So they're now room temperature. I cooked them up a couple hours ago. And then I've got refried beans. These refried beans are absolutely amazing. And they are so easy to do. As you can see, they're creamy, but yet they have some body to them. And this is not my original recipe. I will link the recipe in the comments below. I use Plant-Based Dad's refried bean recipe because it starts with pinto beans and it's all done in the Instapot. And then after they're done, you mush them up to make them into refried beans. And all I've done is add my homemade taco seasoning to the refried beans so that we get that taco flavor that we're wanting. And then Joe's will also have some meat and some cheese in it. This is cheese that he grated today for himself. And this is just some leftover beef tips. And all I've done is chop that up. You could use chicken, you could use hamburger, whatever you would like to use. And then for our toppings, we have some salsa that I got at the farmer's market, some green onions, and then sometimes we like taco seasoning. So I've got that. And then, oh my gosh, look at this awesome salad I'm going to serve with it. It's a jicama, tomato, green onion, and corn salad. So jicama, if you've never used it before, it's got this nice crunch to it. It's a very mild flavor. And I can find these jicama wraps. So I just cut up some of the jicama wraps. I had some green onion, leftover corn, and these are tomatoes from our garden hasn't started producing tomatoes yet, but I got these from the farmer's market, and a little bit of lemon juice. And that's it. And this is our perfect little summer salad to go with it. So let's get the party started. Let's get our burners going because I want to get the burners up to temp. Joe, we're going to have to really watch this one because this is the ultra heat one. So since I like my food a little more on the crispy side than Joe does, we'll make this my side just in case we get it a little too done. The pans aren't big enough to do it otherwise, and this is a simmer one, so it wouldn't. You need your pan to be warm so that they're actually, because I'm not using any oil to cook these quesadillas. So you can do it 2 ways. You could put one quesadilla down, put all your toppings, put another, or you could put a quesadilla down, put all your toppings, and fold it over. I'm going to do 1 toppings and another one for us. That way we each get to have 1, but you can do it anyway. This is another one of those really neat ideas, especially if you have a flat top grill. You could have like a little bar of all of your toppings, and then people can come along and figure out, somebody could be at the grill, put the tortilla down, they put the toppings they want, and then there'll be a grill master. And then when theirs is ready, they can pull it off and eat it. So that's a great idea for a party idea. So let's get our tortillas down. And tortillas, you will find, they're not perfectly shaped all the time. So you try to find the ones that you can match up. So like that doesn't really match up very well, but it matches up better here. Let's see which ones we can find that match up better with each other. So yeah, that matches up a lot better. And that one matches up. So do you see the difference there? If you go too small, then your ingredients are going to be leaking out. So I'll use this one for this one, and I'll use this one for that one. So that's what I wanted to make sure I showed you. That's a little hint so you don't have so many things oohing and gooing out of it, okay? So let's put these away. So we've got these on the warm I mean, these are on like about a medium heat, so not too high, but you want to start getting it going. Now, I will say, I have tried to do this when the ingredients are like piping hot. It does not work well. It almost creates a condensation within side of it that makes the inside of your tortilla kind of gummy. So I don't generally, the ingredients are usually room temperature is what I'm trying to say, or barely heated up. I've just found I don't like the texture of it. Now I'm putting a few more beans on mine than Joe because he's got some other toppings. Mine's going to be very simple. The other thing is, don't push your ingredients. I'll probably put too much on yours, honey. Don't push your ingredients all the way out, because when you smush your other tortilla on there, you don't want all your ingredients to smush out. It goes back to the don't overfill the burrito type thinking. So let's go ahead and put some meat on Joe's. Just like that. We're just going to sprinkle it on there. Is that enough meat for you, honey? Okay. And then some cheese. Actually, let's do the peppers and onions first, because your cheese and your refried beans act as your binder to keep all your ingredients in there. So I'm going to finish the peppers and onions on mine, because mine's just the beans and the peppers and onions. Could also add kale to it. Is another option, but since I've got that little salad to have with it, that's what I'm going to have. And I'm going to put cheese on his. Hear that sizzle? Is that enough cheese? Okay. So we're going to put his lid on and then just kind of smush it down and go ahead and turn it so that you know that the bottom one is not sticking. And I'm not sure if Joe can catch it on camera, but you'll see as I'm pushing it, it's also pushing those ingredients further towards the edge. And I'm just going to turn this. Again, don't need oil. Now, I'm not saying that it's definitely for sure will not leak out, but you want to try to avoid the leaking out. Okay? So these just need a little bit of time, probably about 4 minutes on the first side, and then 4 minutes on the other side. Here's a couple other options for you. If you have a griddle that you have like a electric griddle, and then you can, the pop will come down, you could do it that way too. That way both your sides are cooking at the same time. Like I said, you could do this on an outdoor grill. The other thing I've seen on the internet is some people will do a sheet pan and they'll lay out all their tortillas with some of it hanging off the edge, and then they fill it, and then they push those edges in and then bake it, and then they cut it like into squares. And so you make one big one that the family can go off. Kind of like when you do individual pancakes or do the sheet pan pancakes. That's another option for you as far as the cooking of the quesadilla. So I think these are ready to flip, at least Joe's is. See, it's got crispy, and we didn't have to use any oil on that. Oop. And now we're just gonna, can you see that? Okay, perfect. So I think I'm gonna leave mine just a few minutes longer. There's no exact, I would say I left that on there for about 3 minutes, because you want your ingredients on the inside. And see, I can see his cheese is bubbling and his refried beans are bubbling over here. So things are happening in there. Let's see if mine's ready. The other thing is, you'll see mine are curling up here at the top, so we know it's time we need to flip it. So you just kind of hold this and then do your best to flip. Just like that. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. It's still food. And as you can see, I got crispy on here. Like I said, this burner runs hotter, so I'm turning it down, because now you've got your first side done. So now you want to make sure all your ingredients are heated through and you get the crisp on the other side. So turning it down a little bit and giving it that little bit of extra to make sure your ingredients are cooked on the inside is all you need to do. And that takes about 30 seconds to a minute, and then you're good to go. So that's what we're just waiting on here. Another idea for toppings on the side is you could make shredded lettuce that can go on top of it. Guacamole is another option for another side to go on it. And then in addition to that salad over there, you could also serve this with chips and salsa if you wanted. There have been times we have used not shredded cheese, but like a queso. If you're going to use that, really put it in the center, because if you have it go too far out, again, it's going to seep out, and then you get actually more cheese outside than inside the burrito or inside the quesadilla. So I think when I did that for Joe one time, we decided that it actually was better with shredded cheese, because then when shredded cheese melts, it kind of stays in place more than the queso does. Other option is you could put all your toppings in it, and then after it's done, you could put your queso on top of it as you're eating it. So that's another option for you. So let's see. We'll put them over here and then cut them when they're ready. So let's move all that. And let's see, are they ready? Can I turn it? So we'll do a little test. I would say Joe's is ready. So let's turn that burner off. Whew, whew. Okay, that was a little more hot than I expected. Got my hand too far down there. So we'll do Joe's here. Ooh, another topping is if you have a little bit of corn left over, you know, it's sweet corn season right now, you could add a little corn to these. That's another idea for you. Oh, I got a whiff of the taco season and it smells really, really good. So we're going to guess mine's done too. I'm curious. Let me know in the comments. Would you like to see a video where I show you my homemade... Oh, I didn't flip that, did I? Rude. Oh, ow. There you go. So that's what mine looks like on the outside. Or on the other side. Okay. Now, how to cut it. Let Joe do the close-up shot for you. You have two different options that I have found are the best. And it's just kind of what you want to do. So you can cut it with a big butcher knife. It's probably best if you let them rest for about 2 minutes so that everything doesn't seep out on you. But of course, we're hungry and we want to do this, get this video. Oh, there we go. Help if I stayed on the right lines. We want to see. That's what it looks like on the inside. Can we see that? So let's cut you a wedge-o. I think most restaurants, they cut them into 6 wedges, 3 each. So there's one. That's his. So you can cut it that way, or you can cut it with a pizza cutter is the other option. Now, because I don't have cheese as a binder, mine is moving a little bit more than his. Not a problem. I just moved it back. It's no big deal. And then here's what mine looks like. So it's got all those peppers and onions and the refried beans. There we go. Okay. So while we let those cool for just a second, I'm going to try the salad that I'm going to serve mine with. Joe's not a huge fan of tomatoes, not like this. Like he'll eat tomato sauce and stuff, but not a huge fan. So he's not going to eat this. So I will. I want to give you the taste bite of this. I think more than lemon juice, I think this would be better with lime juice. I didn't have any lime juice, so I used lemon juice. Crunchy, fresh, and if you don't have any salt restriction, you could always use, I think I'll say it right, the tangine seasoning that's out there. That would have a nice kick to this, but because I don't want to eat the salt of that, I didn't want to put that on there, but that's a suggestion for you. So, Joe, you think you're ready to try this? Without burning our mouths too much. So, the peppers, perfectly cooked, not overdone in there. The refried beans, I pureed them great after I got them done in the Instapot. And those refried beans, they freeze well. So you can I make a big batch and then I put them into smaller containers and then freeze them. And they are super, super good. And I got just enough taco seasoning. So mine's perfect. I won't do the sauces on camera, but once we're sitting down, I'll probably add a little taco sauce to mine just because I'm a condiment girl. What do you want in yours, taco? Yeah. Let's see what Joe thinks of his. I'm going to take another bite. See, he's smart. He's using a fork. I'm over here just digging in. It is lunchtime here, so we are hungry. You want a regular knife? Okay. How's the shredded beef instead of hamburger? Good way to use it up?
It resembles like a fajita with the
steak
meat versus hamburger. That's good.
Good. Another successful meal. So let us know in the comments, are you a quesadilla family? If so, what do you like to put in yours? And would you like to see a video where I show you some of the seasonings that I make so I can make them salt-free for us? Thank you all so much for watching and have a great week. And we'll see you next week on One Dish, Two Ways.